Today we're going to talk about how to budget your life, keep on top of your finances, manage your money, and just generally feel better about your pennies. If you like the video, hit the like button, and if you want to see more content, hit the subscribe button. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Steve Rob and this is the Capital Scoop. We are going to be talking about how to budget your life. One of those things is unforeseen costs, and here's a classic example. My glasses broke last night, so I need some new ones. So unforeseen cost. Yes, I need some new glasses. So today I'm going to cover three main topics. So the first one is understanding and documenting your finances. Looking at everything coming in, looking at everything going out, just writing it down, putting it down somewhere so you understand it. And that's how you start your budget, really. That's how you start budgeting your life. Second one is managing your money. You know, the accounts you use, different bank accounts, credit cards, debit cards, that kind of stuff. If you've got saving pots to the side, if you've got any kind of, if your money's doing anything else. And then the last thing is spending and saving, because that is what your money does. That's what you do with your money. Rather you spend it or you save it. And we're going to look at the different ways of how you spend and how you save, and some tips in there to help you budget, essentially. But yeah, let's get right into it. So, number uno. So understanding and documenting your finances. So like I said, this is knowing and understanding your income. So this is your salary, any kind of side hustles that you might have going on, making sure that you know every piece of money that's coming into you, every capital that's coming into you, whether it's a yearly basis, quarterly, monthly, daily, weekly, whatever it is, that you know this and document it so you know exactly how much money, how much capital you have to then turn towards your spending. And again, outgoings, you need to understand how many different outgoings you've got. So note them all down, add them all up. Is it less than my incomings? Great. Is it more than your incomings? Look at that then, maybe have a look at that. Putting the incomings and outgoings into categories so you can see where, you know, what am I spending on, or where am I gaining most of my money, most likely a wage or a job. But yeah, on those outgoings you want to really kind of delve in to see like, oh, I'm spending too much on my phone, or I'm spending £100 on Wi-Fi. Why? I've got some simple formulas that should help you, some simple sums that help you kind of see where you're at with your incomings and outgoings. For example, I use like a spreadsheet. I don't want to get too like techie or anything like that, because it really isn't. It's just a couple of sums. It's as simple as my earnings is £1,500 a month. My spending is £1,000 a month. I have £500 left over to do what I want with. It's very simple stuff like that. So let's divvy it up a little bit. Let's kind of run through what you do. So you've got the first thing, which is your income. So most people would have one source of income, and that'd be your salary. So let's say your salary after taxes is £2,000 a month. This is what you get in your pocket, in your bank account. Let's say you get £2,000 a month. And under that, you want your expenses, your expenditure. If you're living somewhere, you know, you might have a mortgage, or you might have rent. Let's just call this home. And within that, maybe you can kind of put in your home bill. That'll include your rent, your electricity bill, your water bill, your heating, your gas. That's what I like to do. And then I have like a little separate area where I break down everything inside of that home bill. So let's say your home costs you £500 a month. Then you might have a car. Let's say your car is £200 a month. Then you have insurance for that car. Let's say that costs £40 a month. Then you have a phone. I'm recording on my phone at the moment. Let's say that's £50 a month. Okay, so if we add all them up, that gives us a total of £790. So if you bring across your 2,000, which is your initial income, you take off the 790, that leaves you with 1,210 quid to do what you want with until you get paid again. So that's a nice big chunk. I don't expect everyone to have that. Some people will have 5,000 at the end of the month. Some people will only have 200 quid at the end of the month. It's all about how you work with that and how you divide that up. So 1,210. Let's see how you could divide that up. So I'll kind of go from my example. Currently I'm saving to buy a home, my first home buyer with my partner. I managed to get on the Help to Buy scheme, which is no longer available, but I'll cover that in a different video. I can deposit £200 a month into that. So I do that every month. That's on direct debit. I don't even think about it, it just happens. So that's my first one. That's the kind of first thing that I'm always doing. That's £200 gone. So that leaves us with just over 1,000 now, 1,010. So I would try and look at investing maybe another 200 quid. That £200 goes into an investment ISA, which again, I'll cover in a different video. So that's £400 gone out of that. So we're left with £810 after that. Another thing is put 100 to 150, let's say 150 away for savings. So you're building up that kind of financial cushion in case you have any unforeseen expenditure costs. That takes off 550 from our original 1,210 disposable income. So that leaves us now with 660. Great. This isn't a rule, it's kind of a tip that I quite like to go by. It allows me to drop more money in investments and more money in savings. After all my bills and everything are paid for, I like to make sure that I've got £100 a week to live by. So I get paid every 4 weeks at the end of every month. I like to have £100 a week. So that's £400 really that I want. So I'm seeing here an extra £260 left over. So I might divvy this up a little bit. I might put this a little bit more into investments, maybe an extra £100, that leaves us with £160, and then maybe drop the other £60 into savings. So that now gives me an additional £100 on top of my £100 per week budget. So now £125 a week to spend on what I want. So it's good to note down what your income is, what your outgoing is, and seeing the difference, and then what you've got left to play with. And then that's where you can start to see, I want to put it in investments, I want to put it in savings, or I just want to have a really good month and go out loads and spend loads on clothes and trainers and whatever. You can kind of decide on what you want to do. But it's good just to have that peace of mind, knowing that if you are going out quite often, you can see that I've got £700 a month to spend on doing that. Great, I'm not going to come close to that. But if you didn't really budget and document and see how much you've got to spend, you just don't have that peace of mind. You don't have you might have a little bit of stress niggling away, like, can I afford this? But I really just want to go do it. It's good just to see what you can and can't do. There's some good tools, some good applications that you can use. Excel spreadsheet, as terrible as it sounds, it's really good. You can just fill everything out, know everything, give it a name, give it a date, how much you're spending on that thing. If your income changes from month to month, you can just type at the top, oh, I've £2,000 this month or £5,000 this month. And then if you've got your sums in place, stuff will just change. So at the bottom, it'll tell you, oh, I've got so much money to spend for this month. So it's really cool. It's really kind of simple. I personally use Apple Numbers because I'm on a Mac. It's exactly the same as Excel. It's just really simple, just to add those formulas in. So when I get paid, sometimes it goes up and down, sometimes I have a bonus, sometimes I don't. I can easily straight away see, this is my leftovers, this is how much I can spend after I've done all my costs. This is how much I can spend on different things now for the rest of the month. So yeah, that is essentially understanding your income, understanding your outgoings, and then working out what you've got to play with, what your disposable income, after all your expenses have covered, what your disposable income is and what you can do with that. So like I said, I divvy up between investments, savings, and just general spending. Okay, cool. So the second area is all about managing your money. So this is all about bank accounts, savings pots, investments, like when you've got your money, what you doing? Like, what can you do? Is it all just coming into one bank account? How are you splitting it up? How are you kind of managing where it goes, how things are spent, where your bills come out of, where your savings go, where your investments go, all this kind of stuff. It's a good thing, just like seeing your income and your costs, and you document that down. Where does your money live? Where does it go? Where does it sit? How does it work? We've all got a bank account. Most of us should have a bank account. When you get paid, your money will drop into your account. Great, awesome, £2,000. And we've got bills to pay as well. So we've got to pay for our home stuff, our car, our phone, our insurance. So yeah, we've got all that to pay for. we also want to go out and spend our disposable income. So are we using the same bank account for all this stuff? And we're also sending money into areas for saving? Are we just not spending a certain amount and leaving it in the account? Are we then moving money from this account into an investment account? How are we doing this? So I think, personal opinion, it's great to have a few bank accounts just to split everything up and have everything neat and tidy when it comes to seeing where your capital is, where it's sitting and what it's doing. So the first one is like an income account. This is where your money comes in from your salary, from your side hustles, whatever it is. What I personally do is I also pay my bills from this account. So all my kind of standard bills like home, car, phone, everything comes out of that. In terms of saving, I have a separate account for this. So I have a Help to Buy account where I'm transferring money across automatically every month. As soon as I get paid, the 200 just comes straight out and goes into my Help to Buy ISA. I've got an area that the 100 to 200 pounds of, again, saving money just gets dropped off into another account, which is I've called my savings account. When the spreadsheet has done its calculations and I can see how much I have for the rest of the month, I then transfer that across into my disposable income account or my spending account. So I know on that card or on that account, I can spend everything in that month and do what I want because it's not paying off any bills or anything. The money that sits in that is purely for me just to spend on what I want. And then lastly is my investment side. So I've got a different account. I've got an investment ISA. So again, once I've worked out how much disposable I've got, how much money I've got at the end, kind of tweak how much I want to put in my investment. If I've not been paid as much as I usually do, a little bit less. If I get paid more, like I said, if I have a bonus, I'll drop more into my investments. In terms of accounts, currently I've got a Santander account where I've got 3 accounts inside of that one. So I've got my income account and bill paying account. I have my Help to Buy account, which is inside Santander. And then I also have my savings account as well. Sorry, I've got 4 accounts in there because I do have a joint account with my partner inside Santander. So it's nice to see when I log on to Santander, I've got all 4 accounts just there. I can see how much is in each one, but it's all automated right now. I've got everything like direct debiting around, so everything's kind of paying what it should do and being where it needs to be. But yeah, I also have a joint account where my home bills are paid from that joint account. So my home bill of, let's say I've put down here £500, that £500 gets moved straight across into the joint account, and same from my partner. So the home bills associated with the joint account pay that off. So this will be Wi-Fi, TV license, rent, gas, electric, that kind of stuff. When I was younger, I used to just have the one account, the one Santander account, and I used to go out, spend money, I used to pay for bills. This is when I didn't have my own home, I was living with mum and dad. I would pay for a car, I'd pay for a phone, but then I was also going out and going out for drinks, buying clothes and stuff. I could never really keep track of how much I had, or how much I could spend from a disposable point of view. It was always a little bit annoying, that's why I kind of separated everything out. It's easy to understand, and it's just clean and tidy. Another thing when considering a bank account, I feel that the spending one, the kind of disposable one where you're kind of going out, spending on drinks, food, clothes, whatever you want in the month, it's good to have an account where you see that immediately pop up. If you've spent something, you get that feedback like, boom, you've just spent 20 quid at ASOS. You get that instantly. And it's nice as well if you can kind of go on and categorize saying like, this was on clothes, this was on food, this was on, I spent on family. And one app that I do recommend, one kind of brand that does that really well is Monzo. This is what I use for my day-to-day spending. It's really cool because not only does the feedback come up instantly that you spent this much, you spent that much, but you can create different pots, a savings pot if you want. So that's why I like Monzo, because it's really quick, it's really simple, it's really clear. So investment wise, I do transfer money across pretty much on the day I get paid every month. And again, like I said, once I've decided how much, if it's a bit more, if it's a bit less, that transfers across into my Trading 212 account. Trading 212 as an app, I'm going to talk about in a different video so you guys can see what Trading 212 is really like. Yeah, and then the last one for managing your money is the savings pot side. Don't even think about it. It's direct debit, just happens, just does. And that's kind of what you want about savings. You don't want to think about it. I do have a credit card. Kind of see this as a bit of a financial cushion, just in case anything was to happen, in case any kind of big unforeseen costs. This is an unforeseen cost, but I'm able to replace this with my kind of disposable cash. But if it was something drastic, like £1,000 or more worth of a spend, that's where I would use the credit card. That's where the credit card would come in. So thirdly, number 3 is spending and saving. So like I said at the start, this is all that you're doing. When your money comes in, you're either spending it or you're saving it. Like myself, I'm saving up for a house, and I want to kind of put more effort into investing and see where that goes. So the first thing is, and I keep referring back to this, is creating that buffer, that cushion for unexpected costs. So at the moment, that's my savings account, which isn't my Help to Buy, isn't my investments, just that pot, which is just accumulating over time, and it's just there. That in the future it could be used for something, but it's kind of there in case I get any costs which I didn't see come in. For example, my glasses. But like I said, the credit card is kind of another, is that buffer, is that cushion for me personally, because I don't really use it too often. It's just there just in case. Second of all, you've probably heard it a lot if you watch videos like this, but living below your means is like a classic one. We all want to have the best phone, we all want to have the fastest car or the best looking car. Nowadays, it's getting easier and easier to do that, where you've got the PCP deals on cars, you've got financing on phones, you've got 0% financing all over the shop, which is great, and I'll talk about in a different video. But living below your means just gives you that peace of mind that you've got your capital, you've got your savings, and you're all good when it comes to money. Because a lot of people nowadays are living paycheck to paycheck. If they don't get paid the next month, their life would literally crumble around them. And I'm hoping to give you guys tips on how you can not allow that to happen. If something happens, some circumstances come around and you can't get paid for 3 months, horrible as it sounds, I want to be able to help you guys in terms of feeling more relaxed and having that peace of mind. If that does happen, that you can carry on living for the next few months without having that income stream. So for example, this is things about, don't get the best car, get a second-hand one, get one maybe on a PCP deal or a finance deal. So you're not dropping 10 grand on a car, you're spending like £200 a month on a car, which is doable. And I kind of go on the rule of, when it comes to spending and saving and investing, I want to be able to save/invest 20% of my income. So from the example before, if we had £2,000 income, that 20% would be £400. It doesn't matter if you're earning £1,000 a month, that's £200 a month to save/invest. If your income goes up or down, just stick to that 20% rule, have it in the back of your head. So I've done that. I've got £200 already to go into Help to Buy. Then I've got £200 going to my investment ISA. I've also got a little bit more money, like I said, going to my savings. If I do get paid a little extra, I'll probably put more investments, buy some more stocks and shares. It's quite easy to fall into a routine of vigorously saving and investing, which is great. Like you're looking after your future self. You're like, I'm looking after you. But it's really key to treat yourself and spend a little money, treat yourself now and again. Make sure you're going out. Make sure you're going out with your friends. You don't want to save, 30 quid for the sake of going out for a meal and drinks with friends. Like, make sure you're doing that, but you'll kind of learn to not go out every single night drinking and eating with friends, but you don't want to not do that as well. So make sure you're treating yourself as well, month to month. Make sure you're spending a little, treating yourself and living life. You don't want to stop living. You don't want to just live in a little box and save £2 grand a month. I think you'll go clinically insane if you did that. But yeah, so I hope these 3 areas, understanding and documenting your finances, managing your money, also spending and saving. I hope these 3 areas kind of give you a few little tips, things that we've covered in here about the accounts like Monzo, investment ISAs on Trading 212. I will cover in different videos, so I want to go into a bit more depth around Monzo because I think it's a really great kind of bank to use, and as well as the investment ISA, I will kind of break that down. That's going to be a big bulk of like many videos of seeing my investment strategy, where the kind of money is being spent on what stocks and shares, like how I'm doing this from month to month and how it's going and where I see it going in the future. But yeah, that is how to budget your life. Yeah, and hopefully you guys know that you need to save for some things that you don't know are going to happen, like this. I don't know. Anyway, if you want to stay up to date with how I'm doing on my portfolio, my investing portfolio, you can go follow capital.scoop. The Instagram handle should be here, should pop up, should go up, and it's here. So that is all for today's video. I'll see you guys on the next one.